Hi everyone, I'm Silverwolf and I thought I would do a video comparing the packaging of the new Furby with the original 90s Furby, because that's what Hasbro were planning to do, and that's what their idea was, to do like a throwback to the 90s. So let's compare this packaging. So the original Furby, it came in quite a nicely designed, unique box. It's kind of like a pentagon there. And it's got all sorts of little phrases and things around it that tells you all about Furby. The front is plastic, so you can clearly see the Furby inside from pretty much every angle, except for, of course, behind. And you've got pictures here of kids having fun with Furbies. There's a couple of girls and there's a boy, and they look very much like prototype Furbies as well on the print, which is what they used to do with new toys. They would, of course, take the photos, and they'd only have the prototypes because they hadn't been put into full production yet. So that's what they've got on there. Again, it's very 90s. It's got a radio and you know, it's that kind of style. It's got the story of Furby on the back of it, which is a poem. And there's a picture of a Furby that looks a lot like my one, Toluca. And then on the other side, it's got some more kids playing with Furbies and enjoying themselves, and some more little kind of phrases about what Furby does. It has Tiger Electronics there, which are the company that made the original Furbies before Hasbro bought them, and it's got a model number down at the underneath it as well, and it says it's for ages 6 and up. And if you look on the bottom, Electronic Furby, Tiger Electronics, and you've got all the barcode and everything else. But there is also a Hasbro logo there, because Hasbro had bought Tiger, but they were still releasing things under the Tiger name, and it says 1999, which was when this particular one was made. And there's other stuff about devices complying to safety regulations and all that. And the box inside has got another layer of cardboard, which is pink, and it gives a nice backdrop for when the Furby's in there, instead of it just being brown cardboard. And it's also at the bottom there, the Furby sat on like a little cardboard stand. So that's the original 90s one. Then we've got the 2023 one. It's very bright, it's bold, it's got a big picture of the Furby on the front because there is no plastic window for you to see the Furby. It's got Furby written on the top of it. On the back we've got a kid with a Furby, and these days the toys that they put on as the cover photos on their packaging and stuff are normally either prototypes that look a lot like the final one or the final one. I'm guessing it's probably because the printing process and everything is much faster these days. And then you've got a little picture of the Furby on the side. It tells you what is included in the box. And then underneath there's all the jargon about, you know, it complies to the safety standards in the USA and Canada. It's recyclable, of course. There's a barcode there, and there is also a little Tiger Electronics. Now, they don't actually release anything under the Tiger name anymore, so I'm guessing that they did that because they wanted to give it a little bit of nostalgia. You can see it says Tiger on both of them. And also the Tiger Electronics logo is in orange and purple, which is kind of like the original Furby box colours. You see there, the orange and purple. So that's just a little Easter egg for the old school kids to discover. And then the end that you open, it's got a key and it says pull here to start, and it's perforated, so you just pull it down and you open it up. And to be fair, this packaging's quite clever. It's almost like you're going into the Furby's room, and it says keep out Furby and Bestie only, and you open the flaps there, and it's got a hole where you can pull it. Knock knock, who's there? Pull here. And when you pull this, of course, out comes the Furby's bedroom, which has got the box that the Furby sat on, which will contain the instructions and the accessories that go with it. You can also flip it upside down and there's pictures of Furbies on it. And the background is a rather 90s style Furby bedroom with all sorts of things on it. So, you know, it's a little bit more interesting than some toy packaging. Some toy packaging is just made purely to house the product and make it look nice and then gets thrown away. But kids can kind of put the Furby on their shelf or whatever, and it's got its own little sort of bedroom around it, which is nice. It's this little room. It encourages people to be creative, and it's also nice in that the packaging has a purpose and won't just be thrown out. Now, the old packaging, I know that collectors keep some of their Furbies in their boxes if they still have the boxes, and it shows them off nicely. You can stack them and place them on the shelf, and it keeps the dust off them and stuff like that. And although you can't do it with the new Furby, it's still nice that they have done this sort of, you know, little room thing, so kids could probably do like a DIY thing and sort of finish it off. And I know that some people in the Furby community have actually done that. They've modified the box so that it makes the rest of the room like, you know, it's got like a ceiling and stuff like that. I think perhaps as a slight improvement they could possibly have made the front of the Furby box plastic so that you could see the Furby inside in its bedroom, because that would be cool as well, because then you could keep it in the box and also display it nicely when you're not playing with it. And I always used to like putting everything, all my bits and pieces, back in the boxes. I've still got boxes for a lot of my old toys from the 90s. They're worth a lot these days, but of course they have been opened and played with, so maybe not so much. But most kids really love to sort of like play with the box or utilise the box in some way, so I think that if they were going to improve upon the design, then putting a plastic window in the front of the box would be the way to go with that, so you can see the Furby there in its bedroom. But other than that, I think the new packaging's very good. It's certainly more interesting than the packaging that they've released before for the Furby booms and things like that. I mean, the Furby boom boxes were reusable, I suppose. You could keep them in there. They were also very low profile boxes. They were quite small. The new Furby packaging is quite large. It's quite a bit larger than the Furby itself, but I will take my hat off to Hasbro. My first Furby, with the coral one, as you guys know, arrived in a terrible state. They didn't actually put it in an outer box when they shipped it to me, and the packaging kept the Furby very safe inside. So you've done something good there, Hasbro. Well done. It still keeps your Furby safe even if it's getting slung across a postal sorting office or whatever and being delivered halfway across the world. So Furby did arrive safe and sound. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you want to see more videos of the Furbies, you can click either of the boxes that come up below. You can check out my Etsy and New Monday stores. I make plushies and artwork and take commissions. Or if you enjoy what I do, you can buy me a coffee on Ko-fi. It all helps. And that's all for this video. Stay safe, stay healthy, and keep being awesome. This is Silver, signing off.